NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The Raven defense taking the field a few moments ago, and their all-time leading sack man, Terrell Suggs, was firing up the troops. They get set for what should be a good matchup with the Los Angeles Chargers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The return man, Chris Moore. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. There's Lamar Jackson as he brings out the Baltimore Ravens, and he has been dynamic at QB since taking over in Week 11. Reports saying Joe Flacco likely not back in Baltimore next year. So have you seen enough from Lamar Jackson to say, hey, he's the guy going forward?
Well, the team has certainly adopted the fact that he is the guy going forward because of how they've played. They're winning a lot of games with him at quarterback. My biggest concern is how often he's actually running the football, and not all of it is off of scrambles and broken plays. There are a lot of designed runs. He's had games of 17, 18, and 26 carries. Those are tailback numbers, not quarterback numbers. I don't know that it's sustainable going forward, but for right now, 2018, this is exactly what they need.
They'll roll him out right. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
On second down, Jackson looking middle, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Let's take a look at Melvin Ingram, the outside linebacker. What I've always loved about his game is strength. He'll stand in there and go toe-to-toe with anyone, but I've watched him develop in his career. More pass rush moves, more subtlety, more quickness, and now he's one of the rising young players in the league.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down.
All right, here we go.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
The Los Angeles Chargers, you think Week 15, Charles, that win over Kansas City. Look, they're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. This is a team that can make a run in the postseason.
Not only can they make a run at the postseason, their head coach, Anthony Lynn, truly believes in the team because in that win in Week 15, remember, he opted to go for 2 after the late touchdown that worked, and when they asked him about after the game, he said, it was a no-brainer. With my team, we're going for it. But I'm with you on this team. They're not sneaking up on anyone, yet they're also going to be a handful for anyone that they're going to play.
And remember, they also beat Pittsburgh in December as well. So this is a team that is very, very talented. Both of those games, by the way, primetime matchups, and the whole nation saw it.
Yeah, the last part, they can go on the road and win. That's a big, big deal because of that defense. Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rivers from the gun on third down, and that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Donnie Jones now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Jones. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Baltimore's offense coming back onto the field. And for the Ravens, Charles, it's really no question that the season sort of changed when Lamar Jackson was put in at quarterback. He ran off 4 wins in his first 5 starts. The only loss in that stretch, overtime at Kansas City. And he really gave him life, didn't he?
He certainly did. And give credit to the Baltimore Ravens staff led by head coach John Harbaugh to not only make the change, but institute the type of offense that would give him a chance to be successful. Heavy run-based, him being a full part of the run game, and it has confounded defenses around the league so far. Is it sustainable? That's a question for another day. For right now, he's got a chance to run them into the playoffs. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. throwing on first down. It's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. That'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go. Green.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Melvin Ingram. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Set. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Now we're going to get a halt in the action because Ty Montgomery is shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Jackson. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Set, 380.
Second down, Rivers. Caught left side, Williams. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Gordon on 1st down. Nifty move by Gordon, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Rivers now from the 50. And that is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Rivers. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And the Ravens taking the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson on 1st down and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Ravens out in front. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Jackson from the shotgun, throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Now Jackson on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Here we go now.
They go play action here on first down. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
All right, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go.
Jackson now. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Now Austin Eckler on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Allen's first catch, good for a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here you go, man.
Rivers on 1st down. Caught by Gates, left side. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Jackson from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got Snead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green, 39.
To throw is Jackson.
Green, 39.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we
first and 10. It's Jackson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Here's Desmond King on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Set 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Set 90. 8 hot.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Hey, we got a second here. Let's go back to Week 15 following the win over Green Bay for Chicago. Happiness rained down on the field. The Bears claiming the NFC North title, but one Bear took his celebration to an extreme. I know you saw this.
Yes, I certainly did. Charles Leno Jr., left tackle for the Chicago Bears, got down on a knee and proposed to his girlfriend Jennifer. So not only celebrating an NFC North title, but now his proposal accepted by Jennifer, who will now be Mrs. Jennifer Leno Jr.? No Jr.
No Jr. By the way, smart move because she's not going to say no in front of 60,000 people.
Well, I've seen it happen before. Not pretty, but not in this case. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On third down, Rivers. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Donnie Jones now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, Jackson finds his target, Montgomery, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. it's Jackson.
Green 39.
And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Ravens on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24.
180. Delta.
A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Williams. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Set. 380.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And that's complete to Gates. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Ready. Run 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down at about the length of the football.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action now. Rivers finds his target. It's Gates. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. How many times have we seen this? Rivers to Gates on third down to keep the Charger drive alive.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the gun, Rivers. Caught left side, Williams. And he's taken down inside the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Rivers now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down, Rivers. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. The Chargers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
3 down. Good. 380. And got it.
Trying to power it ahead with 1. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Jackson on first down. Looking deep for Crabtree. He's got a man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Crabtree, 75 yards. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Here's Eckler to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Ready. Guys, set, green 80.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. Throw left side complete. That's Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Rivers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
180. 80 hot.
Operating from the gun. Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there. 26 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Green 90. Green 80. 80 hot. 80 hot.
First down, Rivers. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Set. Run 80. 80 hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, add that play to his resume, Real, because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
The 180. Delta.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Now let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Set. Blue, line it.
Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
Now Alice. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Go, 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 run, run, run.
looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And they'll run it here. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, that's Edwards. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Terrell Suggs in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Rivers. He's airing it out for Whip. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Rivers on 1st down. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rivers now from the 50. Right side catch. This is Gates. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A couple of 1st downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. 80.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rivers with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, fourth quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
I'm about to find out.
After reviewing the play, the running on the field is reversed.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Jones. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
From the gun, Jackson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Sam Cook now. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 20. The first down throw here for Rivers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now Rivers going to give to Gordon on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The Chargers on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 14. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And Allen's got it. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
Operating from the gun. Rivers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have a
That's
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Tucker with the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Rivers. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Rivers over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Baltimore gets set to take the field. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
The drive starts with a run by Allen. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On third down, Jackson. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Sam Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is taken at the 15. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Allen has it left side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Rivers now on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
To throw is Jackson. Now bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Jackson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there. And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. He's back to throw. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. He'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Rivers looking a little nimble there as he picks up a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now Rivers. Going underneath for Gordon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Rivers. Shedding through the defense. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. The Chargers on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Rivers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.